point of another foundation that God has given us. And let me write it here for you. For those of you in the front, what does that say? Science. I know it's really hard to see on that side. But do you know God has given the Adventist Health message through science research today? Think about this. Where have scientists gotten information about health? Who is enabling us to increase knowledge in the field of health and research? I think this is from God. These are messages that He is allowing us to become real today. You know, the Bible was written about 3,500 years ago, or somewhere around there. And today, science is just finding out some of the things that the Bible has said so many years ago. And it's very affirming for me as an Adventist to learn science is agreeing with what we have known all along. So today our foundation is science and research. Along those lines, we have choices that we make for our lifestyle. What is lifestyle? They're habits that you put in a day, and all that together means your lifestyle. So if you make healthy choices, you're going to have a healthy lifestyle. There are some factors in life that you cannot change. You can't change your age. You're still young, but you cannot change whether you're a female or male. There are diseases that are very specific for males. They're very specific for females. But in general, most diseases affect both genders. There are also factors of your race. If you were born American, if you were born African, if you were born Filipino, you can't change that. But there are some things that you can do in life that are factors that you can change. And we're going to focus on those today. In fact, there are 6 changeable factors in life. The first one, what does that say? Smoking. Do you know that there are about 22 million people die every year from a common group of illnesses that we call lifestyle diseases or chronic diseases. And one of the contributing factors to heart disease is smoking. Now, you're young. If you haven't started smoking, please do not. Smoking is a very hard habit to kick. Once you become addicted to nicotine, it is so hard. So think about it. If somebody offers you a cigarette, just real casually, what are you going to say? Have you thought about it? You need an answer. No, I don't do that. No, it smells bad. Anything. But just think about it. Before somebody hands you a cigarette and says, here, have a smoke, what are you going to say? Think about it. Determine in your heart you're going to say no for some reasons. Don't start, because once you're smoking, it's very hard to stop, and it's a big contributing factor to heart disease today. 22 million people are dying every year. That's about 6,000 people a day worldwide from heart disease and chronic illnesses, which are largely preventable. Okay, number 2. What's the next one? Alcohol. Drinking, drugs, also very poor for your health. There are choices that you make. It's your lifestyle whether you're going to start to drink alcohol or not. And it's going to take time off of your life. It's going to affect your liver. It's going to affect your brain cells. It's going to decrease your healthiness and your vitality. And it's something that you need to have thought about before somebody offers you this drink. What are you going to say? Don't start drinking. Many people, the first drink, they're hooked. And then they become an alcoholic from there. So, what's another changeable factor? Sedentary lifestyle, lack of exercise. This is a big choice. If you want to choose to exercise regularly, your heart will be healthier, your muscles, your bones, your lungs, your whole body. But remember, we talked about your body and is connected to everything. Your mind, you will have a much more vigorous mind. Your mind is brightened, Mrs. White says, invigorated by exercise on a regular basis. So if you are not thinking clearly, if you're studying and it just isn't going in your brain, do something active. Run around the block, run up the stairs, and run back down the stairs, and see if extra oxygen to your brain doesn't help you learn. So a sedentary lifestyle is a factor that you can change that will help improve your lifestyle and it will help you live longer. And science has confirmed that those who exercise regularly are living longer, healthier lives. Okay, what's next? Stress. How many people feel stressed? Somebody feel stressed this week? No stress this week? Wonderful. You're all managing it well. Think about ways that you can manage your stress. We talked last week about trusting in God and depending on Him and giving Him our burdens in life and not worrying about what happens. This is very biblical, that the Lord wants us to depend on Him and trust in Him, and we will be healthier. So think about it when you're trying to get something done and you're getting all stressed about it. Think about, is this healthy for me? No. How can I deal with this? Find ways that will help reduce your stress. Everybody does better with something. Some people like to take a nice long walk. Some people like to go up in the mountains. Some people like to ride their bicycle. Some people like to go down by the beach and walk on the sand. Think about what relaxes you. Take a vacation. Do things that will reduce your stress in life. Okay, number 5, changeable factor. Research has shown, and that's hard to read because there's lots of words there, that says diet high in fat, salt, meats, processed food, and junk food. If you eat a lot of stuff that's going to clog your arteries, your chances of dying of heart disease or cancer go up. The biggest killers right now in the world from chronic disease or lifestyle diseases is cardiovascular disease, which includes your heart being clogged, high blood pressure from too much salt, strokes, which is also from cardiovascular disease, diabetes from eating junk food and too much sugar and too highly processed foods, and obesity is becoming a huge chronic problem in the world today, and so is osteoporosis. If you're filling your body with junk food, your bones have nothing to build strong from. They don't have the minerals that they need. Okay, what is our last changeable factor? If you eat a diet that is very low in grain, the whole grains that we talked about last week, the brown rice and the brown bread, and if you eat a diet that's very low in vegetables and fruits, you're not feeding your body the nutritious food you need, and you are at much higher risk for a lifestyle we call, or the chronic diseases that we've just been talking about. So what can you do to prevent these highly preventable diseases from happening to you? Pick a good, healthy lifestyle. You're going to want to exercise regularly. You're going to want to eat a good breakfast. Do you know that research is showing that If you eat breakfast in the morning, you'll perform much better at school. You heard that? You have a good blood sugar level, and you're able to think better, more clearly. As students, you want to perform well at school. Think about a healthy breakfast before you go. You want to exercise regularly, and you want to think about these 6 factors that will keep you healthy. So, we've talked about what is a healthy lifestyle. What types of things do you think you see here in the Philippines that are making people unhealthy? Smoking? Yes. Asia actually has some of the highest smoking rates in the world, especially among men. Like 40-some%, below 40% in the Philippines of males smoke, and that's very high. Females is not quite as high, but it is catching up. And so cigarettes is a huge problem here. What can you do about that? Can you think of things and ways of getting your friends to stop smoking or never start? Think about what can you do? What are other things that you see here in the Philippines? Lifestyle choices that may not be very good.
Drinking.
Drinking? Yes. What else do you see?
Sleeping late at night.
Going to bed really late and not getting enough sleep. Your body needs that to be very healthy. Do you guys have any questions? We have a little extra time today. What is an appropriate way for you to share your beliefs with somebody? How are you going to share the Adventist health messages with your friends that are not Adventists, that don't know really what you're talking about? What are good ways for you to reach people? Ways that you shouldn't do it is you cannot force somebody. You cannot pull the cigarette out of their mouth. You cannot take something away. You cannot force them. The other ways you cannot do is, some people get very fanatical about something and they try to impose everything on people. Those are not ways that are appropriate to share our Adventist health message. But there are some very appropriate ways, and the best one is to kindly share your knowledge with people, to live it. Show people, hey, let's go exercise. Let's do this together. Hey, I don't smoke. Why don't you cut that out? It doesn't smell good. It's not healthy for your lungs. Share something with your friends about the health message. So think about it today. What habits are you developing? And I have a Bible text that I'd like to have somebody read for us in closing. Who has a Bible? Are you willing to come up to the mic and read? It's 3 John, and that's near the end. There, John, Jude, Revelation. 3 John, verse 2. 3 John, verse 2. Thank you.
Dear friends, I pray that you may enjoy good health and only go on with you, and as your soul is getting along well. It gave me great joy to have some brothers come and tell about your faithfulness to the truth and how you continue to walk in the truth. I have no greater joy than hear that my children are walking in the truth.
Thank you so much. So God wants us to be in good health. He wants us to be healthy, and He wants us to be joyful and to share with people. Okay? Thank you very much for your time and attention. Any other questions?